Welcome to Etchcut Selection Guide. This guide is specifically designed for dual head etching and cutting machine. We have designed 4 type of setup for different budget and production requirements. But before you go through this guide, I request you to please watch the complete etching process video. So for you, I'm giving this link again in the description as well as on the screen. So please watch the video thoroughly before going through this guide. Okay, let me take you briefly to the complete process what you have seen in the video. The step 1 was ink coating on the metal sheet. So here we have 3 sizes mentioned here. Then you bake it inside the oven. Step 2, we have 2 sizes. Then after baking, we put it inside the exposure machine. We have 4 sizes here in the exposure machine. After exposing the plate, you have seen that nothing is visible on the plate. You have to put it inside the developer machine. Now the conveyor machine would start from here. So this conveyor machine has again 4 sizes. Taking out from the developing machine, you have to clean the plate with water using manually, or probably adding one more conveyor line next to this machine. So this is just an idea to if you want an automatic line system. So after developing, you'll clean it manually or by machine. You put it inside the etching and cutting machine. This is again the conveyor machine, has same 4 sizes mentioned here. Then after taking out from the etching and cutting machine, you'll put it inside the stripping tank or a stripping machine to remove the ink which you have applied using the aqua spray booth in the step 1. So again, we have the same 4 sizes here. And along with the setup, you would need an accessory which is called a blower. This is required for developing, etching and stripping machine to take out all the fumes. We have 2 sizes mentioned here. One is 1 HP and 2 HP. 1 HP is a smaller fan for small setups, probably for 7.5 or 14 inches. For 2 HP blowers generally comes with 25.5 and 39 inches of etching and cutting machine. Okay, coming to step 1, choose the setup. So let us start with the first setup. This is option 1. This is a basic setup. Basic setup means this is a setup you should be choosing if you have low production, you have low budget, or if you have a small space, and if you're ready to do other process manually, because the basic setup means you're not buying everything. You are just buying the necessary machines, necessary equipments. So your factory should have a skilled labor available for etching, because not everything is done by the machine here. Okay, what it includes? Basic setup includes the oven for baking, exposure to expose the design, dual head etching and cutting machine. This is the main machine for etching and cutting, and a blower to take out fumes. So all the picks which have been cross marked are not included in this setup. Okay, the spray booth is not included. You have the oven, then exposure. You don't have a developing machine. You can do this process manually as shown in the video. Then you have etching and cutting machine here, and then you have a blower to take out the fumes. So this is option 1, called basic setup. Okay, now you can see in the first page we have given sizes along with every machine. So if you want a basic setup, you can choose which setup you want. You want 7.5, 14, 25.5 or 10 inches. So that's how it will go. So okay, moving to the second option, which is a semi-automatic setup. Okay, choose this setup if you want neat and clean etching setup, because most of the process is done by machine. So it will your floor area, your factory remain neat and clean. Okay, this is for medium scale production every day. It means if you have a etching work every day, then this is a good setup for you. And generally, even if you don't have a production every day, you need a neat and clean and automatic setup where you don't need a skilled labor, then of course semi-automatic is the best setup if you want very less people to handle the whole process. Okay, what does it include? Includes spray booth, oven, exposure, then developing machine, etching and cutting machine, stripping tank, the blower for developing and etching machine, then the shearing machine for cutting raw metal sheet. Okay, we are not giving an image for shearing machine. It's a very common machine to cut metals. So this semi-automatic setup include that shearing machine, so that you can cut metal before doing the coating. Okay, the step 1 is ink coating. It is included. Then oven is included, exposure is included, we have developing machine is included, etching cutting machine is included. Then instead of going for a stripping machine, we are given stripping tank. See, stripping tank is a low cost equipment in comparison to stripping machine. So if you have a low production, then you can go for a stripping tank. But if you have more production every day, then I recommend you to go for a stripping machine. But semi-automatic, this option does not have a stripping machine, probably in the next setup. Then you have a blower for developing, etching and stripping. Okay, now coming to the option 3, semi-automatic line setup. Semi-automatic line means if you have regular production and stripping tank is not sufficient for you. So the main difference between the semi-automatic and semi-automatic line is this machine, stripping machine. This is a very important part here. If you have a regular production, it will go one by one. Okay, so this stripping tank is basically designed if you want to keep your system low budget. So in this setup, you will get the blower for all these 3 machines: etching machine, and then developing machine, and then stripping machine. Okay, coming to the next option, which is an automatic line setup. Okay, automatic line setup is like everything done by machine. So here I have some tips here. If you do not want to do cleaning, washing manually, this setup adds double side cleaning machine after all 3 major process. See, this is the same machine as etching and cutting machine. It just the material of the machine is different. Inside the titanium shaft, which is there inside the pump, instead of titanium shaft, we give a stainless steel shaft. So it hardly makes a difference on costing, but yes, it makes a lot of difference on production and working style, because now you don't have to do anything because everything is done by the machine, including the washing. So this is basically more designed for a complete process. Okay, what is include? It includes the spray booth, then it includes the oven, then includes the exposure. Then you'll put it inside the developing machine. From developing machine, it will automatically goes into the dual head cleaning machine, so it will automatically get cleaned. Then you can put it inside the etching and cutting machine. Then after etching and cutting, you can put it inside the cleaning machine, then stripping, then again cleaning. So all these 3 major process has a one more machine to it, and both the machine would look same. As you can see, we have given a reference image here. So both the machine look same, only the difference is the parts that we use inside the pump are different. Then we have blower for all the machines. So this is a complete automatic semi-automatic line, automatic line. Okay, now step 2. After you have seen all the setup, you have to choose the right size depending on your requirement. We have 4 sizes to choose from: 200 mm, then 370 mm, 650 mm, 1000 mm. Now simply mail us your choice of setup and size. We will send you the quote ASAP. Okay, this is a very important part here. If your general requirement is small sizes of sheet, but you have to produce in quantity, then you can always choose to buy small developing machine with a bigger etching and cutting machine, as bigger machines are not designed only for bigger sizes, they are designed for more production. For example, you can buy 650 mm developing machine with 1000 mm etching machine. But you see that developing machine takes only 3 to 5 minutes, it's just a one-time process. But etching takes almost like 15 to 20 minutes. So it becomes easy to feed the etching and cutting machines, because the developing machine will stop working after some time, but your etching machine will keep on working. It's going to take 15 to 20 minutes for etching or cutting. So I mean, it's just a tip to you, if you can save your time and money. Only if your general plates are smaller in size, but if your requirement is it's always like bigger sizes, then of course you should go for a same developing size and same etching and cutting size. Okay, this is a very important part. We have designed our machines. Etchcut machines are designed as a module system. It's like every machine is a module, which means you can increase the production by adding more machines to your current system, and they will easily get connected, and your production will get double or triple. As you can see in the reference image here, you can see I've connected these 3 machines. So it is not necessary that you buy all these 3 machines together right now. You buy one etching machine today, and you get, let us assume, 650 mm. So 650 mm will give you 900 square inches in 15-20 minutes, and you want to develop your production, then you can add one more machine to it. So the machines are designed in such a way that it will get connected to each other. Okay, now let me explain you a little bit about the etching line, because this is next step. For example, after buying this setup, semi-automatic, automatic, or basic setup. You don't have to sell anything to increase your production. You can always buy more machines and keep adding to them, to increase production. So in this reference image, I have shown you, this is first is a etching machine. So this is, I'm trying to show you an etching line. So etching line is not there in the option. You can email us for your requirement. We will design an option for you. So this is an etching line. See, this is etching machine, then this is a cleaning machine. So when you put your plate inside from this side, it will go etching, then again etching for 5-10 minutes, then again it will go directly to the cleaning machine. It will clean itself, then it will come out from the cleaning, it will go inside the stripping machine. The stripping machine will remove the ink. So this line will go on. You can add one more cleaning machine, so this will go on. So this is known as etching line. So if you have a very huge production, the right option for you is an etching line. For etching line, you can drop us an email at info@etchcut.com. I hope we made this job easy by creating this selection guide of etching and cutting machine. Now just choose the setup and select the size you want. We will send you our quotation as soon as possible. Thank you.